Welcome to the channel. I'm Volcano-AC, and today I will be comparing an analog compressor pedal against a virtual digital compressor pedal. As the analog compressor pedal, I will be using the Scorpion, which is the dynamic compressor from Joyo, and I will have the knobs all at noon so that it adds the compression, but it doesn't over compress, and also so that the compression is not just too mild. As the virtual digital compressor, I will use AmpliTube 5's orange compressor, and I should note that it is not from the orange brand, it's just the color of the pedal is actually orange. That pedal only has two knobs, so I'll have them between 10 and 11, the compressor and the level, because according to my experience, that's how it more or less sounds like this particular analog pedal. After I record a little something, we will go into Studio One DAW in order to see what happens when I tweak a little bit the settings of the virtual digital pedal. In this video, I'll be using my Fender Stratocaster Player Series guitar, and I'll use this yellow cable to connect the guitar straight to my Boss Loopstation RC3 because it has a stereo output. Output A will go straight to my PreSonus Studio 24 audio interface, and output B will be connected to my analog compressor, the Joyo Dynamic compressor, and from the compressor the signal will go to the other input of my audio interface. I'll record simultaneously in two different tracks in Studio One DAW. Let's get started. Alright, and now we're here in our DAW Studio One, and you can see the yellow track is our digital virtual compressor and the green track is our analog Scorpion compressor, the Joyo compressor. And if we go here to our mix, you will see that in the yellow track, which is the digital, we have our Fender amp, deluxe reverb modeling, and let me show you the mics, how they were positioned, just standard here. And the settings, I put the exact same settings on the analog pedal. I'll show you that in a minute, but like I mentioned at the beginning, the compression and the levels are between 10 and 11, because if I go right at noon or more than that, then it doesn't work very good. It gets like too hot, and you get some distortion on the signal and a little bit of noise. And we're gonna be listening to that in a few seconds. And then the compressor, of course, is on over here. Now let me show you what happens when we check out the AmpliTube 5 in our green track. You will see that the pedal is off, and just in case I was preventing, in case I was turning it on, I had it all at 0 levels just in case. And then let me just show you the settings, exactly the same ones as in our virtual digital compressor, and the mic position, same thing. So now with that out of the way, we can go ahead and start listening. Let's start with the green track, which is the analog compressor, and I'll be switching on and off. Let's get started. All right, now let's move on a little bit forward in the recording, and let's start with the digital compressor. We can probably do a little loop over here and see what we get. Okay, now let's do something. Let's work on the pedal settings of the virtual compressor. Unfortunately, we cannot do that for the analog compressor, because once it is recorded, it is recorded. So let's get started here. Turn it off there. Now back on. That's about the sweet spot for this virtual digital compressor. It's between like 10 and 12, somewhere there in that range. And also just being careful with the level. Don't go too much because then there's like a nasty noise coming in. So anyways, to finish up, I will just keep the knobs here where I think it sounds pretty good. But of course, that's gonna depend on the type of music that you're playing and how strong or soft you're playing, that you're gonna have to adjust these knobs. So this is just for this short and brief example. And now let's allow this to finish up and we'll call it a video. Analog pedal, plug in, Alright, now let's go for our final conclusions. Alright, let me know in the comments below if you were able to detect a difference between the analog pedal and the virtual digital pedal. For me, it's very hard to distinguish one from the other unless the level or the compression in the virtual pedal exceeds certain limit. For example, if I go all the way, I can tell that there's a little noise that seeps in into the software, and I didn't feel, or also in my experience I know that that doesn't happen when I am using the analog pedal. So I will say that for the most part the virtual pedal was able to do a really good job of doing that compression, elevating the levels of the notes that I play more quiet and bringing down the notes that I play at a higher volume. So that's all for this video. If you like the video, don't forget to smash the like button, and for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. Alright, thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.